Before moving forward about see how hackers looking into the future, it's important to understand that all these threats and risks that I have just came to show you are already being addressed and already being thought about, and as such, we consider the current PCI DSS draft 6.6 address these threats. Now, the PCI regulation, although it's been very abstract, lets the customers choose several ways to mitigate these threats. Most of the customers do choose eventually to implement a WAF, a controller, which is PCI qualified. Such will be the dotDefender. And the reason for it is because this type of protection is constant protection, it's a very active protection, and it usually complements other services such as pen testing, and etc. Of course, a new PCI DSS is coming up this year, 2012, and these threats, these vulnerabilities are still in there, and they're still playing very, very big major part of it. So it's not something that's going to go away. It's something that's just going to be more and more of an issue. Carl, would you like to add something?
Certainly. There's two things to note. One, the payment card industry data security standard is actually a blessing for many companies, even though it's a lot of work, because it was the first time that application security was specifically detailed in any legislation or overall regulation for business. So it put an eye on a big problem for many organizations. Second, there are, of course, many other regulatory constraints as well. So each organization knows what they have to follow, and in many cases it does create additional work. But it's important to note that compliance is just as important as security. Both are integral to the success of a business. Unfortunately, both can be very complex, and they are not the same thing. You are not necessarily compliant if you are secure, and vice versa. But the good news is technology is an enabler in both cases. So technologies such as dotDefender are very good tools for organizations to use to help them become both more secure and more compliant.